everybody, and welcome back to TARTLEcast. We want to talk about something today. It's our Help Us Help You campaign, and we think this is fundamentally important because when people think about universal basic income, and if you haven't heard it before, I'll explain it in a second, they think utopian societies. But when we look at this here at TARTLE with universal basic income, we view this thing as something reasonable and something that will be required in the coming years as things become more automatic. We have more robotic technology, and there's an increase in the population size on this planet. So, Jason, to kick us off, we wanted to break this episode down into 4 different parts. Can you kind of highlight those for our listeners today?
Yeah, so I want to make sure people understand first, and let's get into this right off the bat. Why TARTLE is saying UBI, Universal Basic Income, but let's explain to the listeners what UBI is specifically.
Okay, what is UBI? UBI stands for Universal Basic Income. What that states is that regardless if you are employed or unemployed, a high-tier job or a low-tier job, everybody gets the same amount of payment every single month. I don't know what the value is yet, but that's what Universal Basic Income stands for. It stands for regardless, everyone flat right across the gate. If you're a human being, you're alive, you're breathing, you're getting Universal Basic Income, and it goes right to your account. That's the whole point of this.
So let me ask you this. So there's an individual and they're living in Paris, France.
Mm-hmm.
How is this individual helped by this? Has TARTLE's UBI helping this person in Paris?
Well, here's what we realized. A huge majority of the world struggles to find meals. Even in developed countries, there are people we have food deserts. People can't afford it. They don't know where to find their next meal. And so for an individual, say, for instance, in Paris, if you have UBI, what does that do? It removes the state of fear you're currently living in, trying to figure out how you're going to survive for tomorrow. So when you can establish something as the most basic need, it allows people to fundamentally clothe themselves, buy food for nutrients that they need to survive, so they can focus on then uplifting themselves out of their current situation. This is not about putting a stimulus into an economy. This is about giving people a basic energetic need which currently lacks, regardless of the situation. That net is always there to be for those individuals so they can uplift themselves, right? It's a base pay for everyone, anywhere, all across the world.
And I want people to understand this, and I think you can explain this super clear. Whenever you sign up and you tell your friends and family to sign up for TARTLE, how does that benefit them individually?
Yeah, see, this is important. People, they're always like, I don't get it. Why is it, if I share this with other people, how does it benefit? The more people that join TARTLE, the more it takes the data we create and securitizes it. What it means is it makes it protected. And when you protect something, its value increases. So the more people socially that get behind this sort of marketplace, they take and secure their data as an asset and increase the value as a whole. So for each individual that shows up, the overall marketplace value of that data increases. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And, I'm thinking of someone in Canada, let's say, and they're sitting there and they're saying, this sounds good. Yeah, maybe I'll sign up, maybe I don't. But why should I really care? How is it affecting me and how does it affect the globe?
Well, this is why should you care? First of all, who wouldn't like a couple extra dollars in their pocket? Money that you didn't have to do anything for, just for being a human being and just for being on TARTLE. You have extra money coming to you. Money that you never know in what situation where things can become tight, where you're like, wow, I'm so glad that I had this extra universal basic income to help me out of a situation that I found myself in. It affords people the ability to recollect themselves. It affords people the ability to move out of states of fear. Does that make sense? And when we move out of states of fear, people can make logical, rational decisions that are best for themselves and others. But if we're constantly worried about how we're going to survive today, that sort of mental attitude is the thing that saps the entire world. Think about how much of the world as a whole is untapped potential.
Yes, 100%.
We can't take all the brains and the consciousness and the power and the workhorse of all these individuals as a human collective because people are worried about how they're going to feed themselves and their family.
Yeah, and people have to stop relying on politicians and think tanks and, governments or corporations. You have to take the responsibility yourself as an individual.
Correct. And the reason we're appropriating universal basic income, UBI, with TARTLE is that currently at this point, if you are a TARTLE participant on the marketplace, we pay out daily rewards to every single person that is on TARTLE. Not in crypto, not anything weird, cold hard cash. We are at the beginning stages of the greatest use case for mankind on universal basic income. And our goal is that moving it up to 500 million proves a point that with this many people on the system, securitizing their data, sharing knowledge, and eradicating the fear of tomorrow with universal basic income, we can increase how much those daily reward payouts are as the value in total of the marketplace increases as each and every single person shares this message. Does that make sense?
Yes, I love that. So how do, to end this, how does someone sign up for TARTLE? What's the website to go to know more about the UBI?
Yeah, you go to TARTLE, like this big logo back here, tartle.co/UBI for Universal Basic Income. It will teach you everything about it, what this mission forward is, why we're looking to achieve 500 million people on the marketplace this year alone, how you can share it across all your social media streams. And guess what? This is the one thing I want to touch on. So many people are so iffy to share things. Maybe it's not their brand. Maybe their ego is in the way, right? Maybe people will judge them for doing so. Remember here that when you are doing this, you are doing it for others and you're doing it for yourself. This is not something to make TARTLE look like the hero. We have set up a tool and we are sharing knowledge about that tool. And if you want to take action on it, if you want to take self-responsibility, that's yours for the ripe taking. This is your world where you get to write that history. And that is up to you. And so I'd ask you to go to tartle.co/UBI to learn more about universal basic income and the goal to 500 million users this year on TARTLE Marketplace.